Bro, I hate rappers.
And welcome to the I Hate Rappers podcast. I'm your host, Greggy Westside. Today, we are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am sitting here with Yoshi T.
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
I'm chilling, bro. You know, first time in Pittsburgh. I'm excited.
So I met you yesterday in Cleveland.
Yep.
Didn't get to interview up there then, but came down to Pittsburgh today for that. Was it your first time in Cleveland as well?
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's like my first time everywhere.
So you're from New York,
Yep.
Upper East Side, New York.
Shout out Upper East Side, man.
So what was it like? Like you said, first time going places. Where have you been before? Before like music took you anywhere?
Yeah.
Like vacations or whatever.
Yeah.
And then traveling to new places.
So
where have you been? Haven't you been?
I've been to like most of the East Coast. You know, just like traveling, driving down to Florida, and whatnot. L.A. I was actually born in L.A. I moved when I was 7. So been to L.A. before, but literally other than that, like never been to Texas, never been to Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, like everywhere we've been so far on this tour.
Okay, so what's your favorite city been so far?
Ooh,
because the tour's not over, so you know
we got a long ways to go still. But I liked Seattle. Salt Lake was beautiful. We didn't really tap in with the people. I've heard a lot of mixed review about the people. But Denver was cool. Yeah, I liked a lot of it, you know. The only reason why I wouldn't say other cities is because we just didn't really spend time there, you know.
What's the most time you were able to like spend in a city this tour?
Like not really anywhere. I mean, only San Francisco, but I've been there before.
Is that because that's where the tour started, right?
Yep,
so you just got there early?
Yeah, I got there early, hung out, had friends there, you know.
I knew for a fact you weren't going to say Cleveland because that was like one of the worst days. Cleveland weather is so crazy in a lot of the Midwest too.
Yeah.
It's just one day it's 80 degrees and the next day it's 40 and foggy and rainy.
Is that like all year or is that just the winter time?
It's middle of summer when it's like just heat nonstop. It's normally not like that. There might be a rainy day or two, but the rest of the Midwest, it's like spring, fall, half of the winter.
Wow.
Like, and especially since the 2010s ish, like that early part of the 2010s, it stopped snowing as much in the Midwest.
Same with New York.
Yeah, I think that's just like all in North America. Climate change.
Some shit is going on, man. Come on. But
so how do you feel about climate change?
Fuck, I want snow. I mean, remember those? Did you guys have snow days when you were younger?
Oh my god, dude. Snow days were so awesome.
I know, and then it stopped snowing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn.
I got to shoveling snow one time this year. My back hurt. And I'm just like, dude, I'm mid-20s. Like, there's no way my back should be hurting. I remember this is like fun to do. It took me 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. When I was younger, it was a beautiful experience.
You do any snow sports ever?
No.
I used to snowboard. So that was like snow. Hell yeah, let's go.
Okay, would you go out like to Utah and stuff? Like I know Utah is like a spot.
So I've been to Colorado. Haven't been to Utah for that. I've been through Utah one time passing through. But I went to like Holiday Valley and Peek in New York.
Okay. Nice.
So a couple of nice spots. Been to Colorado once.
There's some pretty popping spots on the East Coast for sure. I've heard.
Yeah, New
York. What about the humidity? What's the humidity in Midwest? Like, is it like humid in the summer?
It can be, but it just depends if it's like rained or not. Normally, it's just like it's a very mid, like Midwest mid, but
Facts.
You know, it's like very mid humidity. It's not like anything crazy. The one time I've been to Texas, it was more of a dry heat.
Okay.
In comparison, I don't know. It's the middle of right before springtime, so I don't know how it was for you guys.
Got you. I know it was pretty dry. But I ask because the East Coast is like so humid. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I've been to New York one time. I should have brought extra changes of clothes.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. It's bad. It's dangerous, honestly. I don't know what's going on, man.
So, so New York is obviously known as one of like the best places for art in the world.
For sure.
Growing up as an artist in New York, what was the culture like? What kind of like helped you form your identity?
I think, definitely like very grateful to grow up in New York. Especially going to I went to performing arts school and all that. So what was cool is there was a lot of different, not cliques, just like types of people, genres of people, and so one that could be pretty daunting, but at the same time, there's so many options. There's so many little things, so many personalities, and you kind of find yourself through that, meeting people that are older, that have things more figured out. And just kind of seeing where you fit, what you like, what you don't like, and then I think that's how it kind of shapes you. So I think it's probably the same anywhere else, but maybe it just happens at a little faster rate. probably.
So where'd you fit in like the performing arts school
Yeah.
scene?
Oh man, I feel like me and the homies, like all my friends that I make music with, basically went to high school with me, and we fit in like a pretty kind of like kind of knew everyone a little bit, but weren't extremely artsy, nor were we like extremely not artsy. Like we were like kind of right in the middle, and some of us did sports. Like we were kind of like a all including little group of people.
So you were like the kids who weren't popular but weren't not popular.
Exactly, and like we fucked with sports, but like we weren't like super into sports.
Okay. So very mid.
Very mid, exactly. So I'd be in Cleveland. I'm like, damn, I feel mad comfortable here right now. What about you? What were you giving as a young lad?
For me, I played baseball growing up, and very mid at that, and then I was very, very like right in between popular and not popular. My junior year, I got like kind of popular, and then I was like kind of not. It was very weird. High school in the Midwest is kind of funny like that. I don't know. I grew up like right outside of Cleveland, in a suburb called Lakewood. So it was like 50,000 people in that city. Most suburbs are like 10 to 20,000. So there's a lot more people there, and in the high school, so it's like a little less. It's more diverse, a little bit less clicked up, kind of like a lot of high schools can be. But I mean, for the most part, very average throughout high school and everything.
Wait, is there only like one high school in the town?
So yeah, for mine, yeah, most of the suburbs are like, at least I've known through the Midwest and everything, even have been set up. It's like you got your high school, you got your middle school, and you got your elementary school, or maybe there's a second depending on like the actual size. We had like 7 or 8 elementary schools, and then 2 middle schools.
Oh wow! So where did everybody go?
So it depended. So middle schools, like, so the city I live in, it's like a 2 by 3 mile block. So like right down the middle, if you're on this side, you're going to the one middle school. This side, you're going to the other middle school.
I see.
Yeah. So it just like it was. I don't know. It was weird. But everybody gets to high school, and then it's just like right in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sick.
Okay, that doesn't sound horrible because in New York, in the city, you have to apply for middle school and high school.
Like for every single one.
Yeah, for every single one. Well, there are zone schools, of course. But
that's like public school then, right?
They're all public.
They're all public.
They're all public schools.
Okay.
Obviously there are private schools, but like that's like the upper echelon of the city. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even the public schools, you have to apply. Starting in, so you're applying for middle school. You're like fucking 10 years old, like going on interviews and like taking tests and stuff. It's crazy. And this is public school. It's insane.
No, that's nuts, dude.
Yeah, it was definitely setting us up for some shit. I don't know, but like. Yeah,
I mean, setting you up for this, I guess.
Yeah. Now I'm here.
Yeah, now you're here. And being here, I guess, what's your like I made it moment, I guess? Because like I feel like it's maybe not, I made it, but your first glimpse of like, like people are recognizing me for the work that I put in, or the people that that like knew you before you were making music like seriously, now they're taking you serious. What was that moment?
I would say probably because obviously like I feel like I still got a long ways to go and the come up is real for sure, but probably less the people that I knew taking me seriously, more like random artists that I really fuck with, or someone of that sort, like following me or hitting me up, or like showing love. Like that's like, whoa, like like maybe I'm starting to become like a little bit of like peers with these people, stuff like that. And just also like it happens less obviously here, like in like cities I'm not from, but even in New York, like people will be like, oh yo, like I fuck with your music, well, that stuff is awesome.
Okay. So when I interviewed Hoodie, he said you're the Asian Mac Miller.
Yeah.
So great comparison.
Appreciate
in
you.
Pittsburgh today, where he's from. So hopefully, pray nobody says that, or else they're gonna be like on your ass. But is Mac Miller somebody who's kind of left an impression on you with their music to influence you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Probably the biggest influence. I mean, I didn't grow up with him. I didn't grow up listening to him. Grew up listening to like Kanye, Jay-Z, Tyler, more of that side. But ever since I started making music, like 16, 17, people always said I sounded like Mac. And I was like, oh, like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, like I fuck with his songs that I know of. And then, deep diving in high school and just like really finding it. And I think it was a perfect time because personally I like his later stuff more. I like when he kind of started musicality, a little like, Good AM, Divine Feminine and stuff. So since then it's left a huge mark on me. And that mixed with obviously my other influences, like I feel like figuring out my voice and like kind of having him to kind of just like learn from and really be inspired by, he's definitely a huge influence.
So would Good AM be your favorite album by him then, or Divine Feminine? Because you brought those two up specifically, so I'm assuming it's one of those.
Actually, I think Swimming is probably his strongest, but I think I like the songs on Good AM the most. Like as a project, Swimming is I think the most concise, most dense album, but Good AM I think have like one of his best songs on there.
I feel that. I
what
feel
about
like
you?
Swimming was like kind of dropped in the wrong era for me. Because
Okay.
it's like that's the SoundCloud era, and it dropped the same day as Astro World, and that's one of like my favorite albums of all time.
Facts.
Okay. Terrible like timing.
Quick Travis Scott switch up. Is that your favorite album by him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite song on there?
Probably Houston Fornication.
Oh,
Yeah, like
nice.
that was like 100% the one that I bumped the most at the time. Like aside from like the hits,
right?
Because if you're a fan of the artist, you're bumping their hits no matter what. But
yep,
that was like my little sleeper track.
Dude, mine is R.I.P. Screw.
Really?
Dude,
I don't know. That kind of reads for you though. Like it really does read.
I think it's a little more like softer, kind of super melodic. But yeah, dude, I fucking love Astro World. I love Birds in the Trap. Not a lot of people like that one.
I don't like it anymore, but I gave that shit reps, dude.
Okay.
Like, I gave that shit reps.
Okay,
like
so
crazy.
do you think it's a little dated? Is that the reason?
Dated like crazy. Like for the production level that went into it, got dated like a lot faster than you think. Like when you go to re-listen to it now,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I still do listen and like am like, wow, this is great. But I do feel you. Like I never liked Beebs in the Trap. Never liked that one.
I think that was like a top 3 song for one year for me on my Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But that one I was listening the other day and I was like, yeah, this one's a little dated.
Yeah.
But then there are songs like, I don't know, like Pick Up the Phone can't be dated to me.
No, that's a timeless record.
Right?
That's a timeless record.
And also like
100%.
First Take, I don't know, you like First Take.
First Take's really good.
Good.
I think my favorite, like especially now, is the S&P interlude. But have you heard like the unreleased version?
But it tastes like tofu.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But that was side with the
crazy.
OU. Yes, bro. The new me back with the OU, dude.
Hell yeah.
That shit is fire.
No, dude. I used to give his like SoundCloud songs reps. Like crazy.
Dude, like all the like the Swang remix. Remember that
Swang
shit?
remix is crazy. Mixed horribly. Like that's like you put down a good set of speakers, you're like, what the fuck is playing right now?
They definitely just made that in like 2 seconds and just dropped that shit.
Yeah. No, I mean it was in the time where you like could do that. SoundCloud era, you got a lot of people just making bad quality music but a lot of quantity, and the song might be good, but it'd be really good with a good mix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you know what I will say? One thing that I do think that it left a good impression is like I think now it's like obviously a lot of the professional stuff is mixed really well, but like now there's a taste for like kind of bad sounding mixes. So like a lot of like distortion sometimes. Mike Dean talks about it a lot, going back to Travis stuff, like giving it that dirtiness so it doesn't sound perfect. But obviously it's like mixed, very professionally, which I think is cool. I think the SoundCloud left that in a way.
do you do your own production? Or
yeah, so me and
with a
Elijah
team? Okay.
and Jack, we really lock in. Either I'll have a beat already made and like they add to it, or we all make it together.
So how much do you take influence from like that SoundCloud era to what you make?
I mean, we're similar age, like probably like one of the peak, I don't know, just like, high school kids are like the coolest and the worst people. But like, I feel like when you're in high school, it's just whatever's around you just really shapes you. So
100%.
absolutely SoundCloud era. Oh man, like that shit in New York, it's fucking grimy, disgusting, just disgusting people, man. And we were a part of that stuff.
dude, thinking about the SoundCloud era in New York, like you had Pop Smoke coming up at the time.
Pop Smoke, and even before that, we had like ASAP Mob and all that shit.
ASAP Rocky is one of my favorite artists of all
Same.
time.
Okay, what's your favorite album by him?
I mean, it's probably, I always get the first two confused. The one after Yams died, right after Yams died.
Oh wait, so that's
is that At Long Last? Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So At Long Last is definitely my favorite. I liked the mixtape before his debut album better than. Still good quality on the camera though. It's probably better quality now. But the mixtape before, that was definitely my favorite, like in comparison to the debut album. But the debut album has way better songs on it. Yeah. Like going back, like or looking at it now. But I gave like a re-listen to of the At Long Last, and it was crazy. But Testing's like insanely underrated too.
Yeah. Testing, I think, is my favorite. I love At Long Last next, though. Like, I think that one more is like a fleshed out, rocky, and Testing is just like, I don't know. But I really like Testing.
I think like Testing put like too much acid into Testing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think a little too much. Yeah, you might be right. But, like Purity is just like amazing. Praise the Lord. I don't know. Some of those songs really, I feel like.
I played Praise the Lord like crazy, but I think Tony Tone or Buckshot is probably like one of my favorites in there.
Buckshot, man. Let that bullet singing at your head top, make it 47.
Isn't Smokey in jail?
I think he is. Yeah. He's super in jail. I don't know what happened to that man. But
I know my co-host is owed an interview by him when he gets out. I know that.
That's fire.
So that hopefully gets on this.
That's tough. Yeah, dude. That Smokey verse is for sure one of the best parts of the album.
I didn't fucking know Smokey for like a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like because it didn't have it down Spotify.
Yeah.
So
cool, man.
I do have to ask a couple more questions.
Yeah, let's
before
ask.
we get out. So, you're kind of an artist that more or less started their career in the TikTok era, or at least like the post-pandemic era.
Sure.
You're with artists on tour that were before that, and I'm assuming you've talked to them a little bit about kind of the processes of beginning your career. What's one thing that somebody has said to you since you started tour that you feel has really stuck with you and you're gonna start to be able to implement in your own career?
Well, it's crazy how you say that because like I feel like it's kind of like a beautiful coincidence because like I've never been a huge not fan. I mean, as much as I would want everything to go well, whether it's TikToks or social media and stuff like that. Like I was never kind of programmed like that, and it's kind of beautiful that Hoodie and Bryce also they've played in it, they've dabbled in it, but they've always obviously been around since before then. So like a lot of the knowledge and wisdom they be dropping like is not about that shit, So it's more about like going up to the fans and meeting them and saying hi and like really making those connections because it really translates to the internet, because that's how everyone lives. Like that's probably one of the biggest gems that Hoodie dropped. So we'd be going out there in the merch table and just saying hi. And then, a couple days later, you see them actually interacting with you on the internet, So that's cool. And as much as I am in the TikTok world, like so far, my success has been nothing from that. Mm-hmm. So it's been very nice to see. It's like, whether it's music videos or the actual music or, collaborations and whatnot. So that's been cool.
I feel like your music has a lot of potential to be like a TikTok ass song though, which is good and bad.
Yes. I'm cool with that. Like, I feel like I'm not smart enough to come up with that idea that makes it viral, but like, like hopefully someone does somewhere.
No, I mean, that's normally how it happens. Like,
right.
I know when we talked to Bryce, he was saying that the labels just want you to get in front of the camera and just dance in front of it, basically, just nonstop. Right. And then they have the power to take your music down and everything,
which is crazy.
Which is terrible. But most of the for the majority, there's artists that are already established, but the new ones that are coming up through TikTok, it's more or less a trend that just pops back off. I know K-Camp kind of fell off really hard from early 2010s, mid 2010s,
sure.
And then he has the Renegade song Go Crazy, which I think I'm pretty sure that it got renamed because of the dance.
You think? Yeah. Maybe it did.
Because I watched the music video when that song was still kind of late.
It was not
on the mainstream side.
Oh wow!
I think it was just called Lottery Ticket or something like that.
Okay, that's crazy.
I think it got renamed because it's a Fortnite dance. But yeah, that was a random child dancing.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody's gonna end up coming up with something like that for a lot of artists. Maybe not for you, and it might work in your favor that way too.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I feel like there's always a gift and a curse with any type of success. Whether it's long success or short, very fast viral moments. But I don't know, you can't really control that as an artist.
100%.
Kind of just do your thing, and I'm sure they feel the same way. So
my last question for you is you said you're about like 4 years in now. You're doing a first major tour. You got songs with millions of streams, or at least hundreds of thousands. Oh, I know millions, but like at least hundreds of thousands. When you get there, it kind of establishes you in this. You're not like, you're still an underground artist, but like you're not really an underground artist, like a local level underground artist. Yeah. For those ones that aren't getting more than like 10, 15K on a song,
right?
Like aim this answer at them.
Okay.
What's your biggest thing that you would tell them is the most necessary component for their career?
I would say don't put everything you make out. Like really make as much as possible, but really focus and just like lock in and just see what your sound is, what your sound could be, what your sound is beginning to be, and hone in on that and like be calculated with every release. I think that's the most important thing. Like have everything ready, videos, short videos, vertical videos, like as much as I'm not a TikTok person, like I really like care about music videos specifically. So just like making sure that's in order, making sure, you're like fucking hitting everyone up about it. Oh, can you, like tap, like, hey, you should listen to my song. Like that grind really pays off, I feel like.
Let me ask this in like for the second half of that. You said make sure everything's ready for it. What needs to be ready? How much of like everything needs to be ready for you to release a song?
So when I started seeing real like change, it was having like, first off, the music video and having a bunch of different cuts of that, and also kind of lining up, like, there's so many curators now on the internet, lining up a couple of those, hitting those up, making sure that there's something you could share outside of just your song or the cover art or the music video. Those three things I think are like pretty important. And then obviously, the more you could share, the more someone writes up about you, whether it's a small editorial or like some article, like that always, I don't know. I feel like it's such a visual game. Like, you see someone wrote about this. Oh, okay. And then you see another one. And then maybe the third time they're like, okay, let me listen to the song. Yeah. There's shit like that. I'm the same person. Like I'll be seeing mad people shit and I won't listen to it until I see a sick visual, and I'm like, oh, this video's sick. Like, let me listen to the song, Yeah. So kind of putting yourself like, how much do you need to see till you listen to a song, and then kind of getting that shit ready, I feel like is the most important stuff.
I got you. That's a great answer. That's like great advice for independent artists. So.
Cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But yeah, great talking to you,
bro. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Hey, bro, we got our tangents in, musical tangents.
Showed a little bit of personality too.
Exactly, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I hate rappers, but I love artists. See you guys.
Peace, y'all.